Did you know that the real estate has created more millionaires than any other investment in history? Over 90% of millionaires credited real estate as a key part of their wealth strategy. So, how can you start investing in real estate even with no experience? So, let's break it down. Uh, I'm Purya. So, and if you are new to real estate investing, you are in the right place. In this video, I will walk you through the basic and the what, the why, and most importantly, how to get started. So let's jump in. Uh, Real estate can feel overwhelming, Uh, you might thinking, I need a lot of money to get started, for example. Or what if I pick the wrong property? Isn't risky right now? I hear that. I know these things. I hear these questions all the time, and trust me, you are not alone. Most beginners don't get started because they overwhelmed by too much basically information, or they basically wait so long so they miss the opportunity altogether. But here's the truth: you don't need basically to be rich to investing in real estate, and you don't need to be a real estate expert. You just need a plan, and that's what we are building today. So let's talk about your options. Here are three beginner friendly ways to invest in real estate. The first is a rental properties. So basically, you buy a property, you rent it out, and every month you collect the rent. So that's a passive income plus property appreciation over time. But keep in mind, you will need to handle tenants and maintenance unless you hire a property manager. So the pros for this strategy is basically steady cash flow, greater tax benefits, and the cons would be the requires time, capital, and problem solving basically. So one of my clients, Sarah, bought a duplex and she lived in one unit and rented out the other. So her tenants rent basically paid 80% of her mortgage. That's we call the house hacking. And it's a smart way to start. The second option in investing in the real estate is to basically invest passively into the what we call it REITs or real estate investment trust. So you don't want to own a physical property, no problem. You can go ahead and start investing in those REITs or those funds basically that invest in real estate. So REITs lets you invest in real estate through the stock market. So it's low cost and hands off. The pros for this strategy is that it's easy to get in and out. The pros also is no tenants or toilets. But the cons is a smaller returns, less control basically at the end. Is it great for beginners who want to exposure to real estate with the low commitment? The third option is house flipping. So you buy low, you renovate, and then you sell high. Is that is that easy? So sound exciting, right? So flipping can be profitable, but it's not for everyone. The pros for this kind of a strategy is a quick returns if done right, and the cons is risky, time consuming, and requires a strong network. If you go this route, make sure you have a trusted contractor, a solid plan, and a buffer for the unexpected. Okay, now let's see how you make money when you buy. Well, basically, when you invest in real estate, you make your money when you buy a real estate, not when you sell it. Let me repeat, you make money when you buy. So buy smart and the rest become easier. And two things matter the most. First is a location. You can fix a bad kitchen, but you can't fix a bad neighborhood. Look for areas with the job growth, schools, low vacancy rates, and transit for development plans. So this is very important parameters that you should consider when investing in real estate. Especially schools is very important. Investing in a part of the town that has a good schools. Financing, basically, you don't always need a 20% down. In Canada, the CMHC backed loans let you buy with 5%. In the US, FHA loans offer low down payments too. Or you can partner with someone who has a capital. So you bring the deal, they bring the funds. That's how many investors get us started. So the real example that I can tell you is, for example, you go and buy a property for 300,000. The down payment, let's say 20%, that would be 60,000. And then your monthly rent would be 2,000. And the monthly cost of that property is 1,400. So your net cash flow is basically $600 a month. That's it, 7,200 per year, plus you are building equity and benefiting from tax write-offs. So now here are three mistakes to avoid. First is buying based on emotion and not numbers. Underestimating the cost, like repairs or vacancy. Not having a strong team would be another parameter that you have to consider. For example, a stronger team means a strong realtor, lawyer, a home building inspector, and contractors. Avoid those, and you're already ahead of 80% of beginners. So let's recap what we have covered. Real estate is accessible, even if you are just starting out. You have got options. You like rentals, real estate investment trust, or REITs, or flips. Focus on location and understand your financing. And start small. Learn as you go. Avoid common beginner mistakes. Remember, real estate isn't a get rich quick scheme, but it is one of the most reliable paths to building long term wealth. So, now I want to hear from you. What's your biggest question about real estate investing? Drop it in the comments. I will be replying to as many as I can. And if you want to dive deeper into strategies like house hacking or deal analysis, click on the video right here and you will watch it to get more information. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a tip on building wealth through real estate. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in next video.